Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Aditi Lumba with the evening news. The headlines. Supreme Court stays implementation of 3 new farm laws until further orders, forms committee to resolve impasse on the issue. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says new education policy's focus is to make better individuals, exhorts youth to contribute selflessly and constructively in politics. Central government says all preparations are on track for the COVID-19 vaccine rollout from the 16th of January. National COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 96.49%, and birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda celebrated as National Youth Day. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. The Supreme Court has put a stay on the implementation of the 3 farm laws until further orders. It has also set up a committee of agricultural experts to facilitate talks between the centre and farmer unions to resolve the impasse. The Apex Court said it was trying to solve the problem in the best way and had the power to suspend the laws. The bench headed by Chief Justice of India S.A. Bobde and comprising Justices A.S. Bopanna and V. Ramasubramanian said those genuinely interested in finding a solution would appear before the committee. The bench was hearing a batch of petitions regarding the constitutional validity of the 3 farm laws passed by Parliament and a plea to disperse the protesting farmers. The bench said it is concerned about the validity of the laws and also about protecting the life and property of citizens affected by the agitation. The Chief Justice said the committee will not pass an order or punish, and it will only submit a report to the Supreme Court. He said the committee is the judicial process in this case. The Apex Court also issued notice to farmers' unions on a Delhi police plea to stop a tractor rally during the January 26th Republic Day parade.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the new national education policy focuses on development of better individuals and from better individuals to a better country. Addressing the valedictory function of the 2nd National Youth Parliament Festival today through video conferencing, Mr. Modi said this policy gives priority to a youth understanding their decisions and beliefs.
आज जो देश में नई नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी लागू की गई है, उसका भी बहुत बड़ा फोकस बेहतर इंडिविजुअल्स के निर्माण पर है। व्यक्ति निर्माण से राष्ट्र निर्माण। ये पॉलिसी युवाओं की इच्छा, युवाओं के कौशल, युवाओं की समझ, युवाओं के फैसले को सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता देती है। अब चाहे जो सब्जेक्ट चुनिए, चाहे जो कॉम्बिनेशन चुनिए, चाहे जो स्ट्रीम चुनिए, एक कोर्स को ब्रेक देकर आप दूसरा कोर्स शुरू करना चाहें तो आप वो भी कर सकते हैं। अब ये नहीं होगा कि पहले वाले कोर्स के लिए आपने जो मेहनत की थी वो बेकार हो जाएगी। आपको उतनी पढ़ाई का भी सर्टिफिकेट मिल जाएगा जो आगे ले जाएगा।
The Prime Minister said the new national education policy is a step towards nation building and the government is building an ecosystem which will give better opportunities to the youth.
आज देश में एक ऐसा इकोसिस्टम विकसित किया जा रहा है जिसकी तलाश में अक्सर हमारे युवा विदेशों का रुख करते हैं। वहाँ की आधुनिक शिक्षा, बेहतर एंटरप्राइज अपॉर्चुनिटीज, टैलेंट को पहचानने वाली, सम्मान देने की वाली व्यवस्था उन्हें स्वाभाविक रूप से आकर्षित करती है। अब देश में ही ऐसी व्यवस्था हमारे युवा साथियों को मिले, इसके लिए हम प्रतिबद्ध भी हैं, हम प्रयासरत भी हैं। हमारा युवा खुलकर अपनी प्रतिभा, अपने सपनों के अनुसार खुद को विकसित कर सके, इसके लिए आज एक एनवायरमेंट तैयार किया जा रहा है, इकोसिस्टम तैयार की जा रही है।
Mr. Modi said that our youth should come forward and drive the destiny of a country. He exhorted youth to contribute selflessly and constructively in politics. The Prime Minister said it is the responsibility of the youth to lead the future of India, and this responsibility also involves the politics of the nation because today's politics also needs the youth.
लेना पाना बनने के इरादे से नहीं, कुछ कर गुजरने के इरादे से आइए। आप अपनी सोच, अपने विजन को लेकर आगे बढ़े, एक साथ मिलकर के काम करें, जुट करके काम करें, डट करके काम करें। याद रखिएगा, जब तक देश का सामान्य युवा राजनीति में नहीं आएगा, वंशवाद का ये जहर इसी तरह हमारे लोकतंत्र को कमजोर करता रहे। इस देश के लोकतंत्र को बचाने के लिए आपका राजनीति में आना जरूरी। और ये जो लगातार हमारे युवा विभाग के द्वारा मॉक संसद के कार्यक्रम चलाए जा रहे हैं, देश के विषयों पर युवा मित्र मिलकर के चर्चा करें, देश के युवाओं को भारत के सेंट्रल हॉल तक लाया जाए, इसके पीछे मकसद भी यही है कि देश की नई युवा पीढ़ी को हम तैयार करें।
Mr. Modi said earlier there was a perception in the country that if a young man turned to politics, people used to say that the child is getting spoiled. He said people believe that everything can change, but politics cannot. The Prime Minister said today honest people are also getting a chance in politics. Honesty and performance is becoming the first mandatory condition of today's politics.
The Union Health Ministry has said the central government is maintaining close collaboration with states and union territories for the launch of the world's largest COVID-19 vaccination drive, and all preparations are on track for the vaccine rollout from the 16th of January. Addressing media in New Delhi today, Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan said that states are expected to have all logistics ready for the vaccination rollout and exercise continuous monitoring and personal involvement in the entire process at the highest level. He said during vaccination, healthcare workers will be on the top priority, followed by frontline workers and prioritized age groups. Cost of healthcare workers and frontline workers will be borne by the central government. The number of healthcare workers are about 1 crore, frontline workers are 2 crore, and 27 crore people are of prioritized groups. Mr. Bhushan said that 2 COVID-19 vaccines, Covishield and Covaxin, have received emergency use authorization, and both have established their safety and immunogenicity through a well-prescribed regulatory process. He said there are 4 other COVID-19 vaccines which will be manufactured in India and will be available soon.
उसके अलावा ये 4 वैक्सीन हैं जो या तो भारत में ही जिनका रिसर्च और डेवलपमेंट हुआ है, या जो भारत में मैन्युफैक्चर किए जाएंगे, वो भी पाइपलाइन में हैं और शीघ्र ही उपलब्ध होने की संभावना है। पहली वैक्सीन है जाइडस कैडिला की वैक्सीन, स्पुतनिक वी गमालिया इंस्टीट्यूट रशिया के द्वारा विकसित की गई वैक्सीन है। बायोलॉजिकल इवांस ये हैदराबाद में आधारित कंपनी है, जीनोवा ये पुणे में आधारित कंपनी है। तो यहाँ हम आपको ये बताना चाहते हैं कि आने वाले कुछ महीनों में आप इन 4 वैक्सीन्स को, या हो सकता है इनमें से कुछ वैक्सीन्स को भी देखेंगे कि ये नेशनल रेगुलेटर के पास जाएंगे और उनसे अनुरोध करेंगे कि इनको भी इमरजेंसी यूज ऑथराइजेशन जो प्रिस्क्राइब्ड प्रोसेस है उसको फॉलो करते हुए कंसिडर की जाए।
Mr. Bhushan said the Government of India has agreed to procure 110 lakh doses of Covishield from the Serum Institute of India at a cost of 200 rupees per dose. He said 55 lakh doses of Covaxin are being procured from Bharat Biotech, out of which 16.5 lakh doses are provided free of cost to the government, while the rate of the rest of the 38.5 lakh doses will be 295 rupees per dose. The cost of Covaxin will be 206 rupees per dose. The Health Secretary also informed that till today 54,72,000 doses of vaccines are received at the vaccine stores, and 100% doses will be received by the 14th of January in all states and union territories. Mr. Bhushan said there should be special focus on communication activities to create an encouraging environment that vaccines are safe and immunogenic. He said the gap between the 2 doses of vaccines will be 28 days, and it is only after 14 days of receiving the second dose the effectiveness begins, and it is also imperative to maintain COVID-appropriate behavior. COVID-19 active cases continue to decline steadily in the country, with the daily new cases touching a new low today at 2,16,558. The Health Secretary said the COVID-19 situation is still worrisome across the world, as the graph of active cases is climbing in the USA, UK, Brazil, Russia and South Africa. He said in India only 12,584 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. He said in India active cases are only 2% of the total COVID cases. Mr. Bhushan said only two states, Kerala and Maharashtra, account for 54% of the total active cases in the country. Niti Aayog member Dr. V.K. Paul said both the vaccines, Covishield and Covaxin, have been tested on thousands of people and there should be no doubt about their safety. He also informed that the Indian Medical Association has decided to accept and support these two indigenously developed vaccines. He also appealed to the media to create a positive atmosphere about the vaccination drive.
Several states, including Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Odisha, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Karnataka, Telangana, Assam and Nagaland, received first consignment of corona vaccines today. The vaccination of the target groups in these states will start from 16 January, and in the first phase, the health workers will be vaccinated. Our Lucknow correspondent has filed this report on the vaccination drive in Uttar Pradesh.
Additional Chief Secretary Information Navneet Sehgal said that first consignment of corona vaccine reached around 4 p.m. at Amosi Airport of Lucknow. The vaccines will be stored at 8 centers and will be dispatched to different PHCs and CHCs across the state. 1,298 storage centers have been established for the stocking of vaccines across the state. On the other hand, the state is using a new experiment of surveillance system to reach each and every family of the state and gather information regarding the symptoms of coronavirus. Under this surveillance campaign, more than 17 crore people of the state have been either tested or screened for COVID symptoms. The state has conducted more than 2 crore 50 lakh COVID tests till date. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
Over 54,900 vials of Covishield manufactured by Serum Institute of reached Patna. Vaccines have been kept at Nalanda Medical College Hospital, Patna, which has been made as main storage center of vaccine in Bihar. State Health Minister Mangal Pandey said vaccination will be conducted at 300 health facilities, including medical colleges and primary health centers on January 16th. A 5-member committee will oversee the drive at each center. In Odisha, a total of 4,08,000 doses of Covishield were brought from the Serum Institute of India in Pune to capital Bhubaneswar in a special flight this afternoon. The consignment in 34 packages were subsequently transported amid tight security to the state vaccine center in the capital. More from our Bhubaneswar correspondent.
While the state administration has lined up about 3.28 lakh frontline workers to be given the vaccine shot, the elderly among the health workers have been prioritized for vaccination in the initial rounds. Accordingly, about 160 session sites across the state have been kept in readiness for the maiden vaccination drive against COVID-19. District collectors have been asked to collect their share of vials from the state vaccination center in insulated vans for subsequent dispatch to the cold chain points in the respective districts. As per the micro plan put in place, the state targets to vaccinate about 16,000 health workers on day 1. Girish Chandra Das, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
As the first consignment of indigenously made Covishield vaccine was dispatched from Pune's Serum Institute of India to 13 cities across the country, CEO and owner Adar Poonawala said it is a historic and proud moment for SII. Here is a report from our Mumbai correspondent.
The CEO and owner of Pune-based Serum Institute of India, Adar Poonawala, has said that the challenge this year will be to vaccinate the entire population of the country. Mr. Poonawala said the company will be producing 70 to 80 million doses every month, but some of these will also be exported to African and American countries. Talking about the cost of vaccine, Mr. Poonawala said the company has decided to provide the first 100 million doses at 200 rupees each as they and the government wanted to support healthcare workers. He added that the doses will cost 1,000 rupees each in the private market. Meanwhile, Maharashtra's Health Minister Rajesh Tope has informed that the state has received 9.63 lakh doses of Covishield vaccine. Nisha Rani, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Gujarat, the first batch of vaccine with 2,76,000 doses reached Ahmedabad Airport this morning from Pune. State Deputy Chief Minister Nitin Patel, along with senior officials of the Health Department, received the first batch of vaccines sent from Pune-based institute. Karnataka today received the first consignment of 6.48 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine. The Minister for Health and Medical Education, Dr. K. Sudhakar, informed media persons that 54 boxes of Covishield vaccine sent by Serum Institute in Pune were received in Bengaluru today. He further informed that another 1.40 lakh doses of vaccine will be received tomorrow in Belagavi in North Karnataka. In Telangana, more than 3.7 lakh doses of Covishield manufactured by the Serum Institute have reached Hyderabad. The first consignment of COVID vaccine reached Guwahati this evening for the Northeast. Speaking to the reporters, M. Suresh, Regional Executive Director of Airport Authority of India, Northeast Region, said that the Airport Authority is well equipped to transport COVID vaccine to different parts of the Northeast region. A total of 20 boxes having vaccine close to 240,000 doses were delivered at Guwahati Airport. Of this, 17 are for Assam and 3 for Meghalaya. Each box has 12,000 doses of vaccine. On 16th of this month, vaccination drive will be conducted in Assam at 74 locations. Nagaland is gearing up for the rollout of the first phase of COVID-19 vaccination drive, which is scheduled to take place on 16th of this month. Principal Secretary, Health and Family Welfare, Amardeep Singh Bhatia today said 26,500 doses of COVID-19 vaccine are being supplied to Nagaland by the Serum Institute of India. COVID vaccine has also arrived in Kolkata. First consignment of 6,89,000 doses of Covishield reached Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose International Airport around 2 p.m. today by special cargo flight from Pune. It was taken to the Central Medical Store in Bagh Bazaar of North Kolkata. You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. Reminder of the headlines before we move on. Supreme Court stays implementation of 3 new farm laws until further orders. Forms committee to resolve impasse on the issue. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says new education policy's focus is to make better individuals, exhorts youth to contribute selflessly and constructively in politics. Central government says all preparations are on track for the COVID-19 vaccine rollout from 16th of January. National COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 96.49% and birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda celebrated as National Youth Day. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
All India Radio presents World News. News and views from across the globe. What happened and what is up next? The newsmakers and the highlights of the day. From 10:30 to 11 p.m. every night on 100.1 FM All India Radio.
Welcome back to the evening news. The country's COVID-19 recovery rate has reached 96.49%. More than 18,000 COVID patients recovered during the last 24 hours. The total number of recoveries has gone up to over 1 crore 1 lakh. The Health Ministry said the COVID-19 recovery rate of India is among the highest in the world. The government has said that 2 doses of vaccine, 28 days apart, need to be taken by an individual to complete the vaccination schedule. The Health Ministry has come out with a series of frequently asked questions about COVID-19 vaccine on various aspects. It said protective levels of antibodies are generally developed 2 weeks after receiving the second dose of COVID-19 vaccine. The ministry has said that vaccination for COVID-19 is voluntary. However, it has advised to receive the complete schedule of COVID-19 vaccine for protecting oneself against this disease. This will also limit the spread of this disease to the close contacts, including family members, friends, relatives and co-workers. The News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program tonight will bring you a special discussion on COVID-19. Dr. Sanjay Pandey of GB Pant Hospital will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions to the expert on toll-free telephone number 1-800-115767. One can also ask questions on telephone number 011-2331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. Public and private health facilities were felicitated today with Kaya Kalp Award for high standards of sanitation and hygiene. Applauding the importance of Kaya Kalp scheme, Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan said Kaya Kalp has not only been able to facelift the condition of public health facilities, but has also made significant impact in improving the behavior of the masses. The government had launched a national initiative, Kaya Kalp, on the 15th of May 2015 to ensure hygiene, sanitation and cleanliness in public health facilities in India. He said the scheme, which saw the participation of 716 district hospitals and central government institutions in its first year, has spread to 26,172 public health facilities now.
Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying has said that new cases of avian influenza has been confirmed among dead crows in HCL Khetri Nagar in Jhunjhunu, Rajasthan, and in dead crows in Pelican in Zoological Park, Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh, and in dead crows in Jagnoli and Fatehpur village in Kangra, Himachal Pradesh. The ministry said avian influenza has also been confirmed in poultry samples from Jhabua district of Madhya Pradesh. The Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying has also issued advisory on testing protocol to states, encouraging them to undertake screening at state level, ensuring suitable biosecure facilities. After the confirmation of avian influenza in Maharashtra, in samples of dead birds, a central team has been deputed to visit Maharashtra and Gujarat to monitor the epicenters of outbreak in those states. The government has said that over 534 lakh tons of paddy have been procured during the ongoing Kharif marketing season. This is an increase of 26.24% against the last year corresponding purchase of around 423 lakh tons. The Agriculture Ministry said government continues to procure Kharif crops at its minimum support price from farmers as per its existing MSP schemes. The ministry said more than 71 lakh paddy farmers have been benefited from Kharif marketing season procurement operations with MSP value of over 1,903,000 crore rupees. The Election Commission of India held an interactive meeting with Union Home Secretary Ajay Bhalla at Nirvachan Sadan today. The meeting was primarily to discuss requirement about availability of Central Armed Police Forces and related matters for the upcoming assembly elections to the states of Assam, Kerala, Tamil Nadu and West Bengal and the Union Territory of Puducherry.
Army Chief General Manoj Narvane has said that a broad roadmap has been prepared to bring in all the new technologies to develop a technology-enabled army to meet the challenges in future. Speaking to reporters in New Delhi today, the Army Chief said Pakistan continues to embrace terrorism and is using it as an instrument of state policy. He said India has zero tolerance for cross-border terrorism and reserves the right to respond with precision. General Narvane said this is a clear message that has been sent across. General Narvane said Pakistan and China together form a potent threat. He, however, said India is ready to meet any eventuality and the operational preparedness is of a very high order. Defence Secretary Dr. Ajay Kumar today co-chaired the 13th India-Vietnam Defence Security Dialogue along with his Vietnamese co-chair, Senior Lieutenant General Nguyen Chi Vinh, Deputy Defence Minister of Vietnam. During a virtual interaction, both of them expressed satisfaction at the ongoing defence cooperation between the two countries in spite of the limitations imposed by COVID-19. During the interaction, Defence Secretary and the Deputy Defence Minister exchanged views on the plan of action that has emanated from the recently concluded virtual summit between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Prime Minister of Vietnam Nguyen Xuan Phuc in December 2020. New areas of defence cooperation were also discussed. The first delegation-level virtual dialogue between the police chiefs of India and Bangladesh was held today in an environment of positivity and trust. While discussing the ongoing bilateral cooperation, issues of mutual concern and the way forward, it was decided to further strengthen the relationship of the police forces of the two countries. The Home Ministry in a statement said that designated nodal points would be established for timely and effective handling and response to existing as well as emerging security and counter-terrorism challenges.
The nation celebrated the birth anniversary of youth icon Swami Vivekananda today. One of the greatest spiritual leaders of India, Swami Vivekananda introduced the world to the Indian philosophies of Vedanta and Yoga. He became popular in the Western world after his famous speech at the World's Parliament of Religions held in Chicago in 1893. Vivekananda was the chief disciple of the 19th century mystic Ramakrishna Paramhansa. He was the founder of Ramakrishna Math and the Ramakrishna Mission. President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tributes to Swami Vivekananda on his birth anniversary today, which is also celebrated as a National Youth Day in the country. The International Film Festival of India today announced the lineup of films for its festival Kaleidoscope. The section will feature 12 films from across the world. The films are We Still Have the Deep Black Night, Winter Boy, Would Also Like to Have a Submarine, Forgotten We'll Be, Haifa Street, Love Affairs, Apples, Parthenon, My Little Sister, The Death of Cinema, and My Father Too, The Big Hit, Valley of the Gods, and The Night of the Kings. Benchmark domestic stocks today gained 0.5% to hit fresh lifetime highs amid mixed global cues. The Sensex achieved 49,500 level for the first time, while the Nifty closed above 14,500 mark. A report from the Business World.
The BSE Sensex climbed 248 points or 0.5% to 49,517 and the NSE Nifty rose 79 points or 0.54% to trade at 14,563. In the forex market, the rupee today appreciated 13 paise in afternoon deals to trade at 73 rupees and 25 paise against the US dollar. At multi-commodity exchange, gold was trading 125 rupees up at 49,468 rupees per 10 grams. Silver also jumped 538 rupees to 66,093 rupees per kilogram. Rajesh Lake for AIR News.
In Leh, the first ever ice climbing festival was celebrated in Nubra Valley. The 7-day event was organized by Nubra Adventure Club. Ice climbing is a popular winter sport abroad. Taking the cue, local adventure sports lovers have explored several ice climbing spots in Nubra Valley to attract adventure tourists to the region. More from our Leh correspondent.
To promote winter tourism in Nubra Valley, Nubra Adventure Club, with the help of social activist Dr. Nordan Odzer, has organized a 7-day ice climbing festival. Trainer Rigzin Sewang said Nubra has the potential to be the ice climbing capital in Himalayas. Time record holder of Mount Everest, Honorable Captain Sering Angchuk said that festivals would encourage the youth from Nubra to summit many unscaled peaks in Ladakh by the locals. The locals are hoping that with the operation of Thais Airport in Nubra under Udan scheme, the Valley of Sand Dunes would be another destination of all seasons for the tourists and adventure sport lovers. 18 participants across Nubra Valley, including 4 women, have taken part in ice climbing. Ramesh Chandra, All India Radio News, Leh.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital will have mist in the morning. The city will observe minimum temperature of 4 degrees Celsius, maximum of around 18 degrees. Mumbai will have a mainly clear sky. Temperature will hover between 23 and 35 degrees. Chennai will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. The temperature will vary between 25 and 29 degrees Celsius. In Kolkata, fog or mist is likely in the morning and mainly clear sky later. The city will observe minimum temperature of 16 degrees Celsius, maximum of around 27. Srinagar, Jammu and Gilgit to have fog or mist in the morning and mainly clear sky later, while in Srinagar, temperature will hover between -1 degree Celsius and 6 degrees. In Jammu, the minimum temperature will be 9 degrees Celsius, maximum will be around 15. In Gilgit, temperature will hover between -5 degrees and 11 degrees. Leh and Muzaffarabad will have mainly clear sky. In Leh, the minimum temperature will be -14 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 0 degree. In Muzaffarabad, temperature will move between 3 and 17 degrees Celsius. Dehradun will observe minimum temperature of 9 degrees and a maximum of around 19. City will observe fog or mist in the morning and mainly clear sky later. Chandigarh will experience mainly clear sky. Temperature is likely to hover between 9 and 13 degrees Celsius. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Supreme Court stays implementation of 3 new farm laws until further orders. Forms committee to resolve impasse on the issue. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says new education policy's focus is to make better individuals, exhorts youth to contribute selflessly and constructively in politics. Central government says all preparations are on track for the COVID-19 vaccine rollout from the 16th of January. National COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 96.49%. And birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda celebrated as National Youth Day. And with that we end the evening news. Good night.